What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Oh, I've done it wrong. Hold on a minute. This is what I need to change. Technicals. There we go. Sorry. I'm just making sure that, hold on, this side. Yeah, I'm just making sure your chat comes up. I just didn't do the, I didn't do the link. Anyway, what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to the show. As always, it is Sunday night. I guess on the crest of a big week ahead of the cryptocurrency markets. We're going to be breaking it all down tonight. We're going to be taking a look through some charts. We're going to be breaking down some very key things to look out for this week. And I'm going to give you my opinion as to what might be coming over the course of the next 7 days. So many people have gone bearish on this market. We're going to talk about whether they are right and we are wrong. I guess there's a sneak peek here. I don't think we are, personally. But anyway, we're going to get into all of that and a bit more. So, yeah, definitely stick around. If you're brand new here as well, don't forget we talk about the crypto markets. We'll take any of your questions. Let me know. Also, if you want to become a member, if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. Also, you can obviously subscribe here on TikTok as well. That gets you access to our premium Discord with lots of charts, technical analysis, brand new tokens, FYI. We've got some token launches coming up. If you're interested in all that kind of stuff, definitely check out those links. Highly recommend it. Also, in other great news, by the way, my ban lifting notification thing got lifted on TikTok. I did get my ban lifted on YouTube, so everything's good. We're officially all gravy. So, yeah, good start to the week, in fact. Anyway, let's say hello to a couple of people. We're going to get all into it. And, yeah, let me know you're here. Let me know what you're bullish on. And certainly get your questions if you have any, and we'll try and answer them the best we can in tonight's stream. Right. 37, good to see you. Welcome, Craig. Good to see you as well. Tim's here. Kevin's here. Obi Joe, 37, representing the green. Love it. Tomato Pete to the buildings. Mr. Swamp Donkey. Big Al's in the house. Al, we've missed you for the last week and a bit. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Welcome. Foz is here. Good to see Viva the Bacon. Man, where have you been for the last, 50 million years? Anyway, good to see you, buddy. DJ and Brian's in here. John Shaw's here. Welcome. And good to see you as always. Appreciate you being here. Brandon Harris, Max Headroom. Love that. That's a great name. That is a great name. Brandon Harris says, hey, legends, keep rocking 2 bits. You know it is. You know it is, buddy. So, yeah, welcome in, everybody. Like I said, do me a favor, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. And if you haven't already subscribed, then consider doing that as well. Right, let's say hello to a few people here on TikTok as well. What's going on, JJ? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. Unseen Hand. That's out there, isn't it? Mark McRae, welcome to you. Bev's here. RM's here. Good to see you. And I saw a couple of other people. Crow, man. What's going on? Ben Fielding's here. Rafa's here. Danielle's here as well. Calamari, Mr. 98. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. What's going on, you Chad? Good to see you, man. Coach JV. What's going on, buddy? There's Fairgrounds in. Where's Susan? Bring Susan back in as well. I liked it when Susan was in here. She was good. Anyway, like I said, we've got lots to break down in tonight's stream, lots to get through. And again, sit back, relax. Robert Dover's here as well. And let's get into it. So, see you in a sec, TikTok. There you go. Here we go then. This is the Bitcoin chart right now. And where are we sitting right now? Holding around 115,700. We're actually starting to move a little bit further to the upside. T-Boss in the building. What's going on, buddy? We're actually starting to finally move a little bit further to the upside, which is kind of good. Now, it's been a pretty interesting day. We're on the 12-hour chart. We'll take a look in a little bit more detail at the actual, I guess, kind of what today's felt like. But very interesting day. And in my opinion, quite obvious as to what's going on. I'm going to touch on it in just a minute. But very interesting setup here in the market on the 12 hours. And if many people are aware of technicals. I just try and better myself every day. I try and kind of see what's going on. I try and, look at potential, plans, routes, however you want to talk about it. But I actually think this is a pretty bullish setup, okay? I think it's actually a pretty favorable setup going into the new week. Generally speaking, when we see this kind of move in from the low range, this is generally a bullish move, okay? This was the 123 range that we topped out back in July. So I guess our first all-time high. What you can see here, though, is there is a very interesting chart starting to play out with the exception of, hold on a minute. Oh my God, what is happening here? What is happening here? Come on, Tubit, get your shit together. Right. So yeah, as I was saying, very interesting chart pattern starting to play out a little bit here, right? This is kind of what this needs to be up here. There we go. So what we're starting to see here is a very interesting pattern. This is actually a very bullish pattern. So you have the double top coming in up here, which again is very, very interesting as this kind of plays through. And this is generally a bearish sentiment. Now, a bullish sentiment. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we're gonna absolutely print from this point. There is a couple of things we need to be aware of and a couple of things we need to understand as to where this next kind of move could go. Because the reality is that this move could continue, and I think this is kind of how it's going to play out, by the way. Because I think a lot of things right now on the 12-hour are very bullish, and you've got a big week ahead of us with rate cuts, etc. So, for me, I actually think this is a pretty good setup. And I think even the fact that today, albeit we've seen a little bit of sell pressure, it hasn't been anything crazy. Markets are not spooked by what's coming, even though when you kind of walk through Twitter and all the rest of it, everyone seems to be calling the end of the bear market. And I don't really know why. Yes, we've seen a little bit of offloading from institutions. Okay, that's fine. But actually our ETFs were buying more Bitcoin than they've bought for the longest time. So I actually think this is setting up for this move. Now, the decision will be here. This is around 121,000. There's a little bit in the middle here around 116, which we've sort of touched on over the course of the last week. But 121,000, my predictions is this becomes a very key level because this will either reject back down, which then could end up being pretty bearish. You then come in with a double bottom scenario and a triple top, which is definitely not a good thing. And this could therefore play out that. Or by the time we hit this, actually, market sentiment will come with us. Altcoins will be printing. ETH will be, well up. And then this could be the breakout that we therefore see a little bit further. But this pattern is super interesting with the exception of this. This is the only bit that isn't really favorably playing out. However, if you were to go a little bit further back, you can see if you drop this, where this support line actually comes in at this first point here. So this is around 110,000. Now, if you remember, we actually could drop this a little bit further. This becomes a very key level here. Now, take this all the way back across. What you see here is a very interesting support and resistance pattern that was playing out. And what you also see is a very interesting support pattern playing out here as well. This follows a similar principle than we saw or we have seen before we got that move to the upside. Now, again, take that I've just drawn, and it's not going to be exact, but you start to then go, I'm not saying it's going to print exactly. I'm not saying it's going to be the same thing, but actually when you start to look at this, then it starts to, in my opinion, show a very clear sign as to what's going on. Now, once again, I must stress, this is not me telling you that this is the breakout, but in my opinion, this chart structure looks very, very interesting indeed, and in fact is playing out as you would expect. Now, you could also take the Bitcoin top to the recent low on the Fibonacci. Okay, what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that 115,776 is a key level for us to hold. But at the same time, the 786 Fibonacci comes in at 126.78, playing out pretty much as we've seen with some of these really key levels and some of these really key support metrics. So again, this only plays into the theory that, well, this is exactly as it's going to play out. Again, it's important to reference here that this move, really, it's not the craziest at all, and that's when we see that kind of push back to the upside. So I'm going to leave that up there. We'll see how this one goes, but this is kind of my view of the charts right now. We obviously, excuse me, basically spat tail of myself then. We'll have the full Sunday report coming in the premium Discord as well later on. For all of you, those are channel members and equally our premium Discord members, we will have the full Sunday report that's sort of going to break down a little bit as to what's coming. But I think this is a very interesting chart structure that's playing out here on the 12-hour. The same could be said here on the daily, and it really is printing exactly that. Now, there's a couple of hurdles to get over, 116.5, but I definitely think this is beginning to play out exactly as you would expect. Go a little bit further. You can see here on the 3-day and then the weekly. If you want to start playing a bit more macro, look at this. Look how this is playing out pretty much bang to right. People would say, well, this is kind of bearish. It might see us a little push down. Doesn't feel like it, right? Doesn't feel like it. And that's why for me, anyway, I think this is a pretty bullish setup for this price action. Likewise, a lot of our indicators are still showing that they are definitely going to the upside, still showing some positive momentum, and the price is still moving as well. We do need to get over this 116 though. This is the important bit. If you go down a little bit lower to like the hourly chart, you can see kind of where we've just had this volatility throughout the day with some pretty aggressive dumps coming in. This is my opinion, is just people liquidating pretty heavy assets, whether that's a risk-off asset view to the week, I don't know, but you can definitely sort of see this one playing out. As for the altcoins and altcoin market, one to keep an eye out for, Ethereum. Again, we were talking about this before, and yes, we've seen a little bit of selling pressure coming on ETH. I'm still very, very bullish on ETH, and I think, look, holding up this upper range is totally fine. It's down about $50 on the day, so albeit the markets look very red, by the way, and they do. There's definitely a bit of selling off. We actually ended yesterday at a pretty positive move. We were actually starting to retest some of those previous highs that came in. So I'm not really too worried about Ethereum. It could come down a little bit further, maybe retest the low 45, so excuse me, the high 45s, 45.90, 45.85, something like that. In my opinion, ETH looks all good. Solana just continues to absolutely dominate in this chart, looking very, very bullish. And then the rest of the market, look, it's down, but it really isn't down that far. And I think this is definitely where I get to, where you start to think of macro sentiments that comes into the market. So, you know, XRP at 303, holding a very important level, isn't looking like it's going to retest. BNB, very strong as well. So lots of these are definitely sat in very good places and certainly could see some big move. Now, Aethia, again, don't know if you guys were trading this, but very, very nice move on Aethia here. This looks like it's got some real legs with it as well, right? Looks like it's got some real momentum. Could see this strongly starting to push further up as well. A couple of key things to think about. You know, we've got some key resistance levels here at the sort of 6-7 range, but right now, very bullish. You'd argue maybe a little bit overbought, but look, I wouldn't worry too much about it. To be honest, will there be financial? Again, if you haven't seen my video, go and check this one out. I think this is the next big mover personally, and it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get something this week about this. I'm not saying go and buy it. I'm not at all, but it's a really interesting chart. Loads of stuff. Go and watch the video I just dropped about it. I think it's going to be very interesting as this one plays out. Rest of the altcoin market is pretty flat, other than Pump Fun. Okay, now I don't know if you guys talked about this. I don't know if you guys got into this. I was talking about Pump Fun literally down here, if you remember, back end of sort of a couple of weeks back. And I was saying, watch for the breakout. Definitely started to move to the upside. That's what happens when you research things. No. Hold on a minute. I was never bearish about will there be financial. I just didn't want to get in at launch. And my view was that I wanted to get into Pump Fund first, which I did. I wasn't saying, no, I definitely did not say it was going to go to zero. I didn't say it was going to go to zero. I said I wanted to get a position in it, but I wasn't going to FOMO in. But I was very much more about this. I wanted to get into Pump Fund first before I started to look into will there be financial. Someone go and clip that I said will there be financial, we're going to zero, because I definitely did not. But I was about getting into Pump. This was 3.6. This is where I wanted to get into this one, and actually did get in on this. Very, very, very bullish, and is continuing to go up. And I still think, by the way, is a very undervalued token. I think it is. Given its company, given the revenue, we touched on that last week. I think this is undervalued, and I definitely think this could be a very interesting play. It could go way, way higher. Think about it. And then when you look at World Liberty Financial, they're about to do exactly the same thing that Pump Fund's doing, which is why I think they've definitely got an opportunity. They need to get their exchange out, app out, and start to, you know, put some more revenue into it. But yeah, could be pretty interesting. But hopefully you guys got in. We were talking about this. I think it was like 3-1 or something. I was talking about it. That was kind of my view. And yeah, I mean, so far it's printing 183%. This was definitely something I was called. In fact, I actually think I called this in the, hold on a minute. Where did I put it up? BTC, well, a bit, I thought I put it in here. Critical moment. Bullish catalyst. Yeah, I thought I definitely, oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I put it in the, I thought I'd put it in the trade group, but maybe not. I thought I'd put in about Pump, and because I thought it definitely had a move to come, but maybe I didn't. Okay, maybe I didn't. Oh, that's a shame. I definitely thought I had done. Oh, well, such as life. Yeah, such as life. Anyway, so yeah, Pump Fund looking pretty good, I think, which is good news. The rest of the meme coin market, albeit, is red. I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't think it is. And we've started to see a couple just start to try and print to the green. Now, what is worth noting, by the way, is that we do have a pretty big move from 117 to 65, which is where we closed on Friday, to where we're probably going to open on BTC tomorrow. So definitely worthwhile. Just keeping your eyes peeled on that. But look, certainly right now, then I think we're in a place where, you know, BTC is looking like it's printing a little bit higher, which is good news. You said stay clear and far from Pump Fund. What? I bet I could find the clip of you saying it would go to zero. There's no way. Did I say it was going to go to zero? I don't think I said it was going to go to zero. Maybe I did. I think you're right. He did say it. I think you're right. He did say it. Come on, I'll get your grammar right. If I could be bothered, I'd find it. He's definitely was saying about just getting in cheap, but you weren't sure about World Liberty Finance, nothing about it going to zero, just the blacklisting you. Yeah, so I said the blacklisting definitely wasn't good, but I definitely never said it was going to zero. Definitely never said it was going to zero. Anyway, don't matter. You don't have to buy it or not, Dr. 2-Bit. Shut up, Holmes. Get out of here. Good. Anyway, keep your eyes peeled on that. And the overall market, by the way, is marginally down. Think about this, 0.6. Even though everyone seems to be freaking out today, everyone's calling the market's done. Everyone's like, oh my God, we're going to freaking zero. It kind of doesn't feel like it, does it? It kind of doesn't feel like it. So, yeah, good stuff. Okay. Just a couple of things to think about. Here we go. This is what's coming this week. Worthwhile noting on a couple of key things. Manufacturing will be a big driver, by the way. Expected to tick up, just to give you a bit of a view on what that looks like. You also are expecting retail sales to come down. I don't think that's a big deal. And obviously then we build into the potential rate cuts that are coming on Wednesday. The FOMC decision and rate decision here. Expectations right now is a 25 basis points cut, which is fine, right? Which is fine. So, you know, I think that we absolutely could be in that place where it's probably going to sit aligned. I think what's interesting when you start to break through some of this stuff is the kind of, you know, duration that we've had. For example, Fed rates for July obviously came in at 4.5 with an expectation of 4.5. We are expecting, obviously, a cut to coming at this one, which could be good news. And then you can see here just some of the kind of key things or indicators that are telling us whether it's going to go up or down. So, for example, balance sheets on banks are coming down. We'll talk about banks and why that's important in just a minute. Equally, you've got a couple of other things. Inflation's actually higher, which is what they need to do. And then equally, you've obviously got the employment rate, which actually ticked up by 0.1% as well. It's going to zero, 2-bit crypto, August 2025. Oh, dear me. Get out of here. What's going on? Fairground says, no, that's cobblers. Ain't going to zero. Now, buy in or miss out. That's what I say. See, Fairground knows what's up. Fairground knows what's up. Flare. I've been seeing some stuff about Flare, actually. Definitely been seeing about Flare. Come on, Sue and ETH. Yeah, Nike. Shawnee's in the house. What's going on, pal? What's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's all right for when your boss gets back tomorrow. Appreciate it, man. H-Bar. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Davo's in the building. What's going on, Davo? Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. Kasang, thank you for the heart me's. Appreciate that as always. Man, there's lots of people in here tonight. Shout out to you guys. Yeah. Good on you, Sean. Good on you. Yeah, I think so, Holmes. I'm down for it. I don't think there's a lot to talk about, but yeah, we can definitely do it. We can definitely do that. 2-bit dark mode. It doesn't do dark mode on this. It doesn't do it. I did look, but it doesn't do it, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, everybody. It just is what it is. Right. Anyway. That's what we've got to look out for. There's nothing else really coming up other than the job loss claims 4-week average coming on Thursday the 18th. So midweek's going to be pretty tasty, I reckon. It's going to be pretty tasty. We'll see mortgage rates. I don't think that's a big deal, by the way, but we'll see what mortgage rates look like. But in other news, and we'll get into kind of just some of this top line stuff right now, but look at this. Michael Saylor again announcing that he may be buying, says Bitcoin deserves credit. This is obviously the Bitcoin price with purchases by strategy. Current purchases 78. That's freaking insane, by the way. 638,460 is the total BTC as of September the 14th. So Saylor looks like he's going to be buying some more. Here's an interesting chart for you guys. Unrealized gains on investment securities. Now, I bet you didn't think we'd be talking about this, right? Bet you didn't think we'd be talking about this. But yeah, look at this. The banks right now, this is super interesting. US banks are now sitting on $395 billion in unrealized losses as of Q2. The fact of the matter is you've got the stock market kind of crazy, but this obviously goes into much more detail. This is all to do with bank balance sheets. Again, the fact that they're declining. We saw that when we talk about the Fed rate cuts as well. And the average life of US government debt continues to go up. Bear in mind, every time the debt goes up, someone has to pay for it. And if you're a US citizen, it's freaking you. So this could play out to be pretty interesting. And then one that I thought was worthwhile looking at is this. And a lot of people were asking us about Arbitrum last week. A lot of people were asking us about like which coins we need to look at. Look at this. Top stable coin supply changes in the last 24 hours. This is actually printing very interesting. If you are still bearish on Solana, you are going to miss out. That's just my opinion. We've been talking about Solana since it was $8 freaking dollars. Right now, it is the biggest accumulation of stablecoins yet. All right. They are seeing an enormous amount of stablecoins heading over to the Solana ecosystem. Arbitrum's in there as well. Aptos Base, BNB, Matic, Say, Hyper EVM, Ripple, and Mantle all holding up with massive amounts moving away from Ethereum, Tron, Sui, and Avalanche. That's kind of crazy. Lots of people going to Solana, which tells me that that ecosystem is kind of, you know, maturing a little bit. and certainly starting to play out a bit more favorably. So this is good news. And then look at this. And this is where I sort of end up by, I guess, summarizing the first bit of this live stream by saying, I still don't understand how people think this market is over. I'm so confused about why it. Now, let's just be clear, by the way. I might have got this totally wrong, and I might be way off, and I might be the only person saying, I actually think the market's got a bit more to give. I don't understand why the market thinks it's going to freaking zero. Anyway, supply held by addresses with a balance of 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin. We actually have seen more accumulation of Bitcoin by this address ever. So as much as people are telling you that loads of people are selling, the statistics and the data is telling us something else, right? It's telling us that markets are going up. You only have to take a look at what's going on in terms of the quarterly returns for Bitcoin, and Ethereum potentially is about to print its best ever Q3 quarter, and arguably within its top 5 best ever quarters, like, period. And people still think Ethereum's going to freaking zero. Like, come on, really? Really? UAE launched 100 million IOTA fund and plugged it into their CEPA trade agenda. Japan's R&D agenda, customs go weak. Man, I like it. Protagonist, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. He's got the chart upside down. I have no idea what the sentence means. 46 in the chat. Yeah, hit the like button, everybody. Come on, share it out far and wide. We're missing a few tonight. Good, right. I thought I saw something. Yeah, someone asked a question then. Does Fibonacci show support and resistance? Kind of, yeah. ETH is going huge with Bitcoin. Fairground, I think so as well. Because like Andy bro, it's the basic thing to learn that'll give you the same info. Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, it's good to know. It also shows you potential points in which you could look at movement of particular charts, etc. So yeah, worthwhile looking at. But anyway, this is good news. And then look, as September, I mean, not that I'm superstitious anyway, by the way, but September currently sitting at 6.66. All right? Bit weird. But yeah, Davo, let's get it. What's going on, Jesse? I'm just going to sort that thing out now. But yeah, interesting. Interesting if you ask me. Joe Bro says to the moon, don't go with the FUD. Yeah, let's hope so, bro. Let us hope so. But yeah, I mean, this for me is printing a very interesting point. But like I said, don't get spooked by 6.66. Let's worry more about this. 85% up on the quarter for ETH. Bullish indeed, right? Good news. Okay. That sort of takes us through the first part of the live stream. We're going to get into a little bit more specifics on the news. Do me a favor, like I said, just tap that screen. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, by the way, definitely consider subscribing. We would appreciate it. Yeah, September going to be green. It looks like it. I think September's going to do 10%. I've been saying this like in the back end of August when everyone was telling me that September was going to be bearish. Nope, I don't think so. Q4 is going to be crazy. Yeah, I think so as well. Thoughts on POKT and its real revenue paying for the nodes? I don't know, but remind me in about 10 minutes. We'll take a look at it. I'm staying away from the hype. Not check my wallet for a month. Hope my coins are still there. John, I think they'll be okay. That's usually a lucky number for me. Same as Friday the 13th, one of my lucky days. Because it is. Because it's great. We have 2, if not 3 rate cuts. Bits Blaze in the house. What's going on, buddy? Between now and December, ETF approval coming. Stock market record high. Yeah, well, I talked about this in my video today. I don't know if I can find the chart, though. Let me see if I can find the chart. It's a really interesting chart, actually. I mean, I say it's a really interesting chart. It's probably not, but... let me see if I can find it. Just, I did talk about it in my video that I put out earlier. Oh, here it is. I've got it. Oh, mate, imagine that. Imagine being so bullish you can find the chart you're looking for. That's great. Okay, look at this. So just to give you an idea, by the way, TikTok, I think you guys need to see this as well. Look at this. So the US stock valuation and what that looks like. So this is specific to, yeah, this is specific to all-time highs and when stock market's rallying. So particularly the S&P 500, etc. And what we can tell here is that whenever you've had a very bullish market, so every time the S&P 500, which is the blue line, has hit all-time highs and we've cut rates, we have seen a significant move to the upside as well, right? Significant move. For example, on Wednesday, the Fed will cut rates for the first time in 2025 and blame a weak labor market. This will be just the third year since 1996 with Fed rate cuts while the S&P 500 is a record high. What happened next? Let's explain. Well, the US stock valuation reached their highest level on record according to Bloomberg, surpassing the dot-com bubble of 1929. Pretty bullish. What does it tell us? Well, the reality is it tells us that every time we've seen this, the Bitcoin, the markets have then rallied for another 12 months after it. This is a key thing to think about The S&P closed for the 24th record high of 2024. The market won the best 5-month rallies in the S&P 500 in line with the 2008 recovery. All right. Pretty freaking bullish, if you ask me. So if you needed a reason to, once again, convince yourself that the market isn't going to zero, then for me, that's just another indicator as to why I think it isn't. And like I said, I still don't really understand why people are in this narrative of saying that it is going to zero. I just don't know. It's because OBJoy's because actually he's going to do something for me. That's why. Bitcoin's rising. What's Bitcoin at? I didn't do that. Bitcoin, 115,756. So let's hope we get a little bit more upside momentum. Let's hope so. Anyway, if we get a 12-month run, but yeah, I mean, if we go on for another 12 months, what's Bitcoin? I love that. But yeah, I mean, that would play out, by the way, into the 2026 theory that the market's going to continue on. Thoughts on Aerodrome, please? Jeff, super bullish on Aerodrome, albeit it's down a little bit. The only thing I'm pissed about with Aerodrome is it's only 10% APR. It's been at like 25% for, I mean, God knows how long, like a while. So I'm a bit, sorry, I'm wearing shorts tonight. They're not shorts, they're just shorts, but I haven't got any socks on, so my feet are cold. The only thing that could wreck the market is Powell being a complete jackwagon and not cutting rates. Yeah, there's no way he doesn't cut rates. No way. He would, if he doesn't cut rates, then Trump would turn it into a political agenda and just get rid of him anyway. So I don't think he's got a choice. I generally don't. I think he has to cut rates. The debate will be how hard. He could do 50. I think it's unlikely, but he could do 50. So anyway, good. Right, let's talk a little bit about some news and we'll get into all your thoughts, questions, and anything else. What about Manchester City fan tokens? I mean, I wouldn't get involved in any particular fan tokens. I think they're a complete waste of time. Like we said, Solana TVL hitting 13 billion all-time high, and this is an important metric. Now, this is a really important metric. We've been talking about Solana now for a while, and they have just become the second highest chain out there, 13.203 billion. What is worth noting, though, look at this. If we look at stablecoin market cap, you can see this is now starting to absolutely skyrocket, and one of the most important points is active addresses. The two go hand in hand. You can see here that active addresses are on a slight decline as we therefore see stablecoins going up. This again is very, very good news. And in my opinion, is going to print very favorable when it comes to Solana. Also, DEX volume hitting $3 billion. Like, what? Yeah, we'll do it on, we'll do it Tuesday, Tomato Pete. The Fed bingo card we'll do Tuesday. I just started following you. I like your input. Jeff, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll live stream every single day. Don't forget, I actually have managed to pin my Discord on my profile as well. So hop into the Discord if you're interested. It's a free Discord. There is a paid bit in there. But again, just to get into the Discord, it's totally free. So get involved in that. But yeah, we appreciate it. Oh, dear. Got to keep people strong in the market and pump crypto because the dollar is in great need of support. That's true. That's true. What's going on, Tim? I didn't see you jump in there. Elon Musk's in the building. What's going on, pal? So yeah, this is playing out. Like we said, weakening inflows could drag Sol down to 219, highlighting risk of the pullback, but I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think this week's going to be pretty optimistic. And the Solana network has seen a surge in new user demand and network inflows, plus in decentralized finance. Just talked about this, $3 billion to a new all-time high with that TVL at 13 billion. Pretty big deal. Good evening. Powell on Wednesday. Get ready for it, Calamari. Calamari, I think there's someone mimicking your name, by the way, FYI. Right. Also, we have a couple of other bits of news, which I think is important. This doesn't look like it's going to load. Oh, there we go. Arthur Hayes. Now, Arthur Hayes obviously is a pretty big name, albeit he's like been renowned for dumping crypto, buying crypto, doing all sorts of crazy shit. But anyway, Arthur Hayes now sees a prolonged crypto bull market driven by global monetary policy. Important to think about here, look. M2, once again, starting its ascent, which could play out again favorably to the Bitcoin market. EMAs, by the way, we didn't really look at these, but look at that. Look how critical this is. We've been talking about this for, a week. It all might be playing out. Nadar, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. It all might be playing out exactly as we've been talking about, anticipating, and more importantly, getting bullish on. I certainly am, I'm keeping my eyes very close to what's going on here. So in fact, we can keep them open. So yeah. Again, Arthur Hayes, though, he is getting optimistic. Drawing attention to global trends, Hayes argues many governments are still in the early phase of their expansive monetary approach. Think about that. This kind of plays out, like we said, to a lot of things. Don't get anything on Temu. It's definitely not worth it. Okay, Ethereum nears 5,000 as ETF and staking reshapes the market demand. Do we think we'll see some more purchasing? Maybe. Feynord said, I think we get a pump and then a dump. A lot of retail had come into the market. Has it? Who wouldn't have you seen me? Yeah, I think they came in. I think it was like Calamari 95 or something. Yeah, Timu does suck Fairground. Oh dear me. I think it was just someone with your like name. Anyway, Robert says, Craig, I see the bull run going to Q2 of 2026. It's like that sniper Justin Sun snipes all other projects and dumps heavy. Yeah, that's true. Large investors have accumulated millions of ETH while staking actively and locked up nearly 30% of the digital asset tokens. But I saw Al ask a question about this whole ETH staking. There is a fixed limit on the amount of ETH that can be withdrawn from the staking pool, all right? So as much as, yes, there might be a queue for ETH to be removed, it isn't the same as what I think a lot of people are talking about, because so many people are like, oh, yeah, well, everyone's like, you know, everyone's trying to withdraw, everyone's like removing it, blah, 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 blah. But there is a fixed amount that can be withdrawn on a specific day. This, therefore, keeps it pretty solid, because the reality is you could kill the entire project. You just dump everything, but it's a pretty big number. I think it was over 1 million ETH the last time I saw. But yeah, this, for me, doesn't really say too much in fairness. But according to the report, Ethereum ETFs have emerged as the defining catalyst in the rally. The 9 US listed funds now hold roughly 6.7 million ETH. And don't forget, the fact that we're going to see that in kind of November then is going to be pretty bullish as well. So yeah, I was asking about the validator queue not staking, unless you're saying it's the same thing. The validator queue, yeah, the validator queue is just people unstaking ETH. That's all a validator is what you have. In order to stake ETH, you have to go through a validator. So it's validator queue is basically people unstaking their ETH from validators. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, I thought that'd cause some upset to World of It Financial. Yeah, I mean, that's true. It feels like a trap. A lot of people are waiting for rate cuts. I feel it's going to be too good to be true. Well, look, the difference is that I think a lot of it are priced in. Everyone thinks they come in. It's not a debate. I mean, the recent data, just to give you an idea of kind of what that looks like, is the fact that, look, it's 96%. Basically, there is no debate we're getting a rate cut. Very much 25 basis points. A small minority think we could get 50. I think it's unlikely, but, you know, at the same time, 96.4 is you know, pretty optimistic. So, yeah, good news in my opinion. 25 is baked to hoping for 50. Yeah, I mean, 50 would be okay. We just have to make sure that it then doesn't play out into some sort of like, well, you know, recessions coming, etc., etc. We talked about this right at the very start of the show, but look at this. Pump hits on all-time highs. Daily volume tops $1 billion. Think about that. It's crazy. And again, I'm not saying you should go and buy Pump, by the way. I do think it's undervalued based on what it is. But the daily trading volume spiked 132% past $1 billion, signaling strong market demand and aggressive buyer activity. Now, they actually tweeted this out. I don't know if you saw this, which could also play out pretty interesting. I mean, I'm just glad I got in at 3-1 and we'll ride this mother trucker and see where it goes to. But they actually put this out earlier on, which I thought was pretty interesting. So check this out. We'll throw a little wrench in the system and change the world. Existing live streaming infrastructure, Pump Fun. Are they going to bring their own streaming platform, which will be another revenue generator for tokens? Maybe they're maturing, maybe they're growing up, I don't know. But the reality is that Pump Fun is, again, one of those that you'd rather be in than not in. Just my opinion. I'm not telling anyone to go and buy it. I'm not telling anyone to go and do anything. It's not financial advice. It never is on this channel. But I think it's interesting that they're certainly debating around kind of what this looks like, right? I think so anyway. I think so. We'll see how this kind of plays out. Craig has just sent me something saying, is this breaking news? Let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. What have you sent me, Craig? If it's come from him, probably not. XRP flicks banking giant Citigroup in market cap. I mean, it's probably true in fairness. I don't think it's the craziest news in the world though. It just means that XRP is probably going up in price, right? Where are we at? 303.96. Or Citigroup's coming down. I'm not really sure. And then finally, we sort of talked on this, but again, this for me tells me there's another big catalyst coming. This is obviously total money market funds. We talked about this last week. This is obviously now sitting at $7.48 trillion. Again, I am not telling you that entire $7 trillion are coming into the crypto market, but they definitely could be coming into investments. That could be anything from property. That could be, you know, risk asset, whatever it is, right? The fact of the matter is, this is like the most basic of things. Think of this as a bank account for institutions, huge companies that want to have liquid capital to move around, but don't just want to have it in a bank account, right? This is kind of where you put some money. You earn about 1%. It basically means the US government can go and play around with it and spend it and do all this kind of stuff. But yeah, $7.4 trillion. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Pretty crazy if you ask me. Okay, good. Right, that takes us through the news. Let's just stick with BTC really quickly. Al says, let's have a look at the pre-markets, which we can do. We'll go into other things, and you don't put it in your... Yeah, I mean, that's true. That is true, Fairground. You can... it's probably sensible to do that, albeit... don't ask me, because I'm not that sensible at all. What do we got? We've got a reasonably okay Nikki. That potentially is going to open up, what, 3 points up? Excuse me, where is that? Hold on a minute there. Sorry, 1%. So, yeah, 301. Sorry, that's the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The Nikkei's going to open 395. So, nothing too crazy. FTSE flat. The yen, does anyone care about the yen? Looks like it's going to open a little bit. And then you've got US indices. So the Russell looks like it's going to be okay. The NASDAQ open a little bit. So yeah, I mean, look, doesn't look too crazy. Fair value on the futures looks like it's going to open a 1% up. Yeah, looks pretty flat, to be honest. Looks pretty flat. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I don't think we'll see any sort of like giga pump on the back of, the Asian markets open. But hey, you never freaking know, in my opinion. Okay, good. Right, BTC looked like it might break. Now, the only problem you've got here, by the way, is, and this has happened most of the day, whenever we start to, rally to this 116 level, which you can definitely see there is a lot, and I mean a lot of, that's 116 there. There is a substantial amount of sell pressure sitting there. In fact, let's bring up the order book for 116 and just have a look and see what that looks like. Combined order book. Okay, let's have a look at this. Let us have a look at this on spot. We want to see about 116. So 116, just to give you an idea as to what this looks like, you've got 325. This is just on Binance, Coinbase, BitThumb, is it? I think it is, Gemini. So just to break 116, you're going to need to get rid of 320 BTC. That's a pretty big chunk. And then before that, 142. So you're talking 500 BTC. This is what, 50 million to break that 116 barrier and sustain. But look at how much is building in the range. So even if you said 116 and a half, you're talking about 3,000 BTC just to break that. So in my opinion, 116 is going to be a challenge. We've seen this a number of times. Now, also worth noting, though, that as each time we come up here, we take a little bit out of the market and then we potentially get that break to the upside. You can see here that we might start to print a more positive upside move. And again, don't forget, we've got some pretty bullish catalysts this week. So yeah, the UK don't want us investing in crypto. The UK do want you investing in crypto. The UK want you to invest in crypto and make a ton of money so they can tax you to death and take all your money from it. I talked about this before, and I was trying to explain to somebody how unfair it is, right? How unfair the British tax system is when it comes to this. So think about it this way, right? You take all of the risk. You take the entire risk of your investments, right? It's not like the government go, oh, hey, here's some cash. Now, you can write losses off, but fundamentally, you take every single bit of the risk. And then in terms of your reward, you pay 24% of that pressure. Think about it. Think about how crazy that is. You take all of the risk, but then you give the government 24% of the gains. And then you could say, well, hold on a minute, but this funds X, Y. Hold on, what does it actually fund? This is if I didn't do it, they wouldn't get that money. So why should they get it now? Anyways, you know what I mean? It's just... Anyway, I did set up a full tax course and tax channel in the Discord, link in the description, that will start to build out with some really valuable tax stuff. I actually connected with a couple of people that I have seen are very... good on crypto taxes. I'm going to try and do like a Discord live with them and sort of talk through taxes and maybe even try and build something out a little bit different where we could sort of try and maybe get some kind of tax advice from somebody. But yeah, that would probably sit within the premium Discord. But I don't know, because I'll probably have to pay for it. But we'll see. But we've got the tax channel set up. We're going to have some alpha stuff going there and try and keep you guys very much aligned to what could be coming, but it's important to think about, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. The UK isn't crypto friendly like other countries we'd be left behind. Joe Darlington, you're absolutely right. We should be, and I don't know why we're not, because we were under Sunak, but I was convinced that guy had Bitcoin anyway. But probably going to be choppy this week going into the rate cut, I reckon. Yeah, Centurion, you might be right. I still think it's going to be pretty optimistic though. The debate will be that it's priced in. That's the point. Yorkshire puddings are crying over UK tax. I mean, that's true as well. Here we go, Kenny. No, I've had them all removed. We are literally all gravy. Unfortunately, we all know exactly the funding at the moment, but we can't talk about it because it's... Yeah, I mean, that's true. But it's definitely not funding old age pensioners, heating funds, or war veterans' housings. Yeah. That'd be good to watch it. Yeah, well, look, like I said, once you start to get an audience, and I know this sounds crazy because, like, the live streams are kind of good, but, once we start to get, some little bits and pieces in there, then we can start to do some stuff. So, yeah. Watch out. Better be in the Discord. That's all I would say. Good on you, Jesse. Thanks, man. Get rid of those scammers. We're clearing up the chats again. Important. Curtis, what's going on? Lauren Babs here. Wait for oil prices to spike and then the reverse carry trade to unwind and the crypto will fly. Yeah, let's hope so. Reverse carry trade. Let's get it, baby. What's that Yorkshire pudding recipe again? It's 140 grams of flour, 4 eggs, 200 mils of milk. Temperature in the oven, 220. Heat your oil. Has to be sunflower. Mix, pour it in. Booyakasha. 15 minutes later, they're absolutely melting. That's what you do. That's what you do. Jesse's clearing up all the comments and all the rest of it. That's what he's doing. He's literally cleaning up all the comments in the videos I put out. He's working hard. He's working hard. Right. BTC does look like it's trying a little bit. Let's hope we see some nice little moves. We can also see the order books here. So remember, 116,325. That's what we're looking to get, yeeted out. We can take a look and see if there's any large order, 1,000 minimum order, minimal amount. Okay, let's see if we get any sort of decent trades coming through. We're on spot, aren't we? Yeah, we're on spot. Okay, we're on spot. Cooking with 2-bit. Yeah, honestly, when you're at school, right? So when you're at school and you're in Yorkshire, one of the key things to pass when you are in year 10 is, can you make Yorkshire puddings or not? And if you can't, then you have to go to Lancashire. But if you can, you can stay in Yorkshire. It's like a, it's like a thing. It's like a thing. So yeah. How's Pepe looking? Pepe actually had a nice little move over the last 24 hours. It's sitting okay now, down 3%, but still well within the range, which I kind of like. I actually think Pepe is holding up pretty well. 4-hour chart needs to break back out of this descending wedge, though, which I was talking about on my video. But yeah, I actually think it looks pretty good. Look at this as well. Nice little move here on Pepe. So I think we've got some opportunities. Bonk as well, 4.9 down on the day. I don't think it's too crazy. Definitely might give us a bit of an option. But yeah, Pump's having a bit of a sell-off right now. Let's get it. Might be an opportunity. Get it. But yeah, I think very favorable. Very favorable. I don't usually mention half of what I do. What's Tim doing? Hey, you got to watch what Tim's doing. Tim's all about it. Calamari are gambling with meme coins. Definitely don't put your entire portfolio in it, but I don't think there's anything. I mean, especially some of these top-end meme coins. I think they're okay. They'll always be a little bit more volatile, though, so you have to kind of keep your eyes close to it. Right, let's stick with a 30-minute on here. By the way, if you want us to take a look at any coins, charts, or whatever it is, let me know. We can bring them up and we can chat about them, which would be good. There's not a lot going on in DeFi, in fairness. Everything feels a little bit quiet. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Not a lot, not a ton going on. I can't remember if I have some coins on here that I was watching yesterday. Yeah, a couple actually. Pump, Pepe, SPX, Mona, Awoke. All holding up. All holding up. Checks, man. I mean, I had no idea. Are we even still in that? 11 cents. Still a $110 million market cap. I can't remember what we got in as, but yeah, it looks awful. Oh dear me. Had giant Yorkshire pudding with my cooked dinner today. Took the plate, all the meat and the veggies had to go inside the pudding. Nice, bro. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it. POKT. Oh yeah, someone was asking about that. POKT. Let's have a look at that. Pocket Network, right? Liquidity is on air. Is it on Aerodrome? POKT. Pocket. Is it called Pocket Network? Yeah. I mean, if I'm honest, it looks awful, but that's just my initial first look at it. If I'm honest, Jordan, not just in Pepe, but good more RWA. That's true. Yeah. I mean, Devo, it looks I mean, it's not bad from its launch. I don't know what it is. $1.47 million market cap, though, with 4K in volume feels a bit naff. And I don't know if that's just me looking at... Am I looking at the wrong chain here? Should I be looking somewhere else? Volume. All these volumes look pants. Wormhole, Pocket Network on ETH. Doesn't look like it's doing much over there. Yeah, it doesn't look great. Doesn't look great. In my opinion. Can you also give the rights to add block words? I don't see options. I don't know if I can. Actually. I don't have to be a managing mod. I'll tell you what you can do. Send me a list of them, Jesse, or DM me the list and I'll go in and do it. FYI, by the way, I have got an absolute ton of them already in there. Like, so many. It's ridiculous. Whatever you invest in, just do your own research for anything. That's true. Joe Darling knows what's up. Got to do your own research. Don't just invest because some bloke told you to. It's yeah, it's like it's people putting stuff in the comments. That's what it is. So here, look. Let me show you guys. So this is the blocked words tab here, look. So these are all the blocked words that I have. They're all these like XA72P, XA59Z, XA60Z, like XA13G, XAI42P. It's just like, it's all these like really, you know, in like the comments, people are like, oh, man, I'm super bullish on XAIP17 $. You're like, what the f is that? I've never even heard of it. So yeah, just send me a like DM with them all and I'll just add them all to that list. Which will be good. Right. We don't need that open. Close that. Close that. We'll keep an eye on this order book. Definitely look at that 170 now. So there's definitely a bit of a push coming on. Look at this. You can kind of directly correlate the two. Let's go on the 15-minute chart here on BTC, right? And you can directly correlate the two things. As we start to see this number come down, this 202, this then plays out very much in line with what we've got here. So worth thinking about. We want to see this continue to come down. Quantitative BTC, this then could signal a price range to the upside. Can we break 116, close on the day? I think would be pretty good. Do you think if XRP gets an ETF, the price will move, my man? Yes, I do. I think that XRP of an ETF are going to be pretty good news. Now, do I think the Rex Osprey ETF is going to create a massive amount of FOMO and people are going to completely shit the pants and go and buy it? No, I don't think so. Hashdex, which was the Brazilian ETF for XRP, didn't really do a lot. You're going to want to see kind of bigger Fidelities, BlackRocks, all those kind of things. Now, Canary Capital, Wisdom Tree, a couple of others might do that, but yeah, we'll see. Ross Colwell says the 28th, baby. Let's get it. What's going on, buddy? Welcome as always. Appreciate it, man. We're at 25,000 likes here, by the way. Absolutely crushing it. Few less on YouTube, though. Do you know what I mean? Few less on YouTube. 2-bit, tell my wife, Shelby, to keep eating a cheeseburger, listen and learn about crypto. Shelby, put the cheeseburger down, listen in. In fact, have you got gherkins on the cheeseburger? Man, I'd absolutely kill for a cheeseburger right now. RPM, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, dear me. Grayscale would be a good one. Yeah, Grayscale would. Don't forget they're converting their initial trust. And these Rex Osprey ETFs, by the way, okay, they're not those. They're not those. It's like where all the people spam in comments. It's not those. YouTube might ban you, by the way, so that's not on me. Like, just be careful. That's all I'm saying. Start putting weird shit in the chat, like it may well ban you anyway. But yeah, the Rex Osprey and stuff, those ETFs will buy XRP on the chart, which is good news. They will actually buy it on the open market as opposed to it being OTC. Craig, you asked about Bonk, yeah? Bonk, I think Bonk's looking pretty good. That's just my opinion, by the way, right? I'm not saying that it's like, you know, financial advice, but I actually think Bonk is looking pretty solid. And to tell you the reason why, as long as we hold the 236 at 2425, which if we get a BTC push, then we're probably absolutely fine. We did retest the upper range at the 382 at 2739, but that doesn't matter because we saw market cool down. Lots of things are still bullish on Bonk. Their revenue's still coming in. Don't forget, they've partnered with, you best to believe it, Will There Be Financial. So if they move, I think you'll see a move on Bonk. So I'm still holding it. I'm absolutely still nice. And you've got a bullish cross coming in here on the EMAs. So lots of really positive indicators for me. I think Bonk's in a great position. And I think, I mean, I contemplated DCing and buying some more, but I'm actually DCing up now on my Bonk position. So I'm going to sit tight and see what happens. Yeah. Pump Fund doing the best of the me. Yeah, Pump Fund's going crazy. And I think, and I said this, and I've said it a couple of times, way undervalued as well. Not financial advice, just my opinion, but all I would recommend anyone to go and have a look at is the revenue generated $690 million since it launched. Imagine what that looks like after a year. Imagine what that looks like when retail come in and all they want to buy is freaking cats with ski masks on. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, get ready to get dialed in. But let's stick with BTC. H-bar broke 24 cents as well, which is kind of bullish. AVAX still, albeit down on the day, 1.6, is still just under $30. So alts, I think, have held up pretty well. I really do. Shut up, Opie Joe. Right. Anyway, BTC on a little push. Are we going to break this 116 range? We'll keep an eye on this as we sort of just keep a view on this. But yeah, I think the market looks fine, by the way. I wanted to get on pump. Yeah, well, look, 3-1 I got in. I didn't get in with as much as I wanted, though, and I refused to DCA up. I'm such a bad investor. Like, I just don't want to DCA up. So, Bonk or Pengu for better gains. Tough choice. Let me ask you a counter question. Do you think IP is better than revenue? Answer me that, and then I'll tell you which one I think. Just my opinion, by the way. Just my opinion. Look at that. Stream Elements says, never miss a crypto thing again. Join in the Discord server. A couple of you got in tonight. Welcome in. We appreciate you. If you want to get full access to our premium service, subscribe here on TikTok or become a channel member. It's going to cost you a few bucks a month. Again, that gets you into the trade signals, the alpha calls, any VC opportunities coming up. We actually posted a new play in the alpha call group as well. So if you are a channel member, go and take a look. It gives you a little bit of a upcoming launch. I think Bitcoin will creep up slowly this week. Yeah, I think so. I think it depends. I mean, you're definitely going to get some volatility on Wednesday. I think that is safe to say. Definitely going to get some volatility on Wednesday. Revenue, then Bonk would be the one I would pick. Pudgy Penguins, by the way, their IP rights could be the big catalyst. But you are relying on people to want to buy that. Whereas Bonk, as long as the meme coin market moves, as long as people want to launch tokens and they want to do it cheaply, Pump Fun, Bonk Fun, they're all going to start to move. And don't forget, Bonk's actually doing all right. It's not crazy, but I actually think it's pretty good. Do you think BTC and dominance will get back over 60%? No. I don't think so. I think we'll hover between this range. Maybe we go a little bit, maybe we get to 58, but yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. We'd need something crazy to push us back up there, in my opinion. In my opinion. Charts will probably get hit before Wednesday, though. I mean, we could see a little bit of sell-off, but yeah. Team Unique, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. How's we doing, buddy? We're all good, my man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. XRP at 10K by next month. Bullish. Let's hope so. What about USDT, Al? Oh, dear me. It all needs to fly now. I've been waiting for years. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Glad to hear it, man. And, not too bad. Thanks. Good. Good, Team Unique. They're all good. We are all good. And, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this week. I think this week could be good news. I'm hoping that we get some really good momentum. I'm hoping that the markets feel a little bit more, a bit tastier, a bit more kind of about it, which I think could be good. And, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to end up being left behind. That's just my opinion. I'm really curious, and I know Holmes has this similar opinion, but I am really curious about the whole Dr. Profit thing. I'm keeping a very close eye as to what's going on. He may be right, I may be wrong, along with a couple of others, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. MakerDAO looks bullish as well right now. Have you seen the price action? I haven't actually, but that was one of the coins I called way back when as a good player. FYI, by the way, I'm not shilling my own trumpet, but this was the top 5 altcoins I did. Look at the performance on some of these. Bullish. Just saying. Don't forget, MakerDAO is DAI stablecoin as well attached to it, which, by the way, is doing nearly $78.5 million in volume. So, but yeah, where's MakerDAO? What number is it at now? MakerDAO. Oh my God, where is it? Where is it? What number is it, Al? Harvey's up there. Have I missed it? Well, there's Story. Another one I talked about ages and ages ago. Absolutely sending right now. Absolutely sending right now. Man, where is it, Al? Oh, has it gone absolutely bad? Have Owl Ada dip? We can take a look at it in a minute. Man, I don't even know where it is, Al. It's going to do my head in. Is it really that bad? Make a DAO. Has it changed name or something? That's not right. Oh yeah, 1,000. Yeah, what's going on? Something's gone wrong here. Look, why is this classing it as now the 3,487th ranked cryptocurrency with a total market cap of 1.55 billion? What? Should be like here somewhere. That's weird. Yeah, it should be like here, like top 75 or something. Mike, check out number 99. Gala Games. The samba. Do you like the post I put in the Discord for you? Outlook for AXGT and B2. I have no idea. They sound like terrible coins. AXGT. I will look at this dead quick, but I have a funny feeling it's going to be garbage. AXGT. Axon DAO governance token. Is that what it is? Awful. That's my opinion. And I haven't looked at the chart. Yeah, see? Awful. AXGT, if you're in that thing. Now, unless you get some crazy rewards for having it in the DAO, I don't know, but it looks like an absolute sack of spanners. That's my opinion of that coin. And apologies if your entire life savings are in it. Tectonic. Man, I need to find that wallet that I had Tectonic in. I need to find it. I rebranded to Sky. Interesting. How far will ADA dip? Okay. I mean, the question is, and I've said this about ADA for literally the longest time, which is it needs a stable coin market, right? It's not going to say that. Someone clip it. If you don't clip it, it doesn't count. You can't just be like, oh, but you said World of Bit Financial going to zero. You go clip it, bro. Come on, it's not like my life isn't on the internet when I'm talking about cryptocurrency. Yeah, I mean, ADA looks like it's in pretty good place right now. Yeah, it's taken a little bit of a cool off over the last 24 hours today. Down 4% is a pretty substantial correction, but the actual uptrend is fine. I mean, look at this from the downtrend of June. I mean, as long as you need it to hold this, 88, you need it to hold 88 cents, I think, to go into the new day. But I think ADA looks fine, by the way. But usually that's connected to crypto.com. Well, they had like a platform, didn't they? SPX 6900. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's down a little bit today. I think it could be one of those. I think the big meme coin, like super crazy move, will be between Pudgy Penguins, Pepe, probably SPX 6900, just the fact that it's on Coinbase. Do you think if Powell cuts, it will ignite the market? No, I don't think it's going to go crazy. I don't think it's going to go crazy. I know loads of people think it's like going to be super good news, but yeah, I don't think we're going to see this like massive spike to like 120 or anything crazy like that. What we should do is it should hopefully release a little bit of capital over the course of maybe the next couple of days. It should be good. I think $3 is on the horizon for Cardano. Maybe, yeah, corner price. I mean, I don't think it would be the craziest price prediction. What does it look like on the extension? Here we go. Look. I mean, that's really, yeah, I mean, look at that. 2618 is $3.16. I don't think that's a crazy price prediction. Now, I think it has to come with a caveat that they need a DEX and they need a stablecoin market and they need a reason for people to use Cardano. Why are people going to use the chain when they're not going to use something like Solana, Base? Even Aptos is starting to do some things. So why are they going to use Cardano? That's the question you got to answer. And if you can answer it, fine. Then you are probably in a good place. If you can't answer it, then I don't know why people would buy it. Just my opinion. Oh, let's look at Libra if you want to look. Oh, mate, that's absolutely done, so. And they all got like millions of dollars given back to them, and they're like, oh yeah, nothing's a problem. Why does it come up? It comes up and says something is interesting in contacting the creator. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does it mean? Something just came up then. You're using the mature theme setting. Should I have that on? Time for bed, Mike. I know, yeah. Tell me about it. When lumped to $1, I don't know. Ask Bleaves. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm meant to have like the age thing on it. Maybe I don't know. I think the last time I didn't have it, then is when I got banned, and I've had it and I've been fired ever since. So I don't intend on taking it off, but maybe I should do. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Right. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you, man. Are we all mature then? I mean, I wouldn't go that far, Al, but yeah, we're sort of somewhere near. You get, yeah, I've got, I did have a warning, but it's gone now. My warning's gone, which is good news because they realized that, I'm not here just spouting complete nonsense. Do me a favor though, everybody, if you could, if you're on YouTube, by the way, just go and smash the like button. We've only got 37 likes on the live stream. Just do me a quick favor, find the thumbs up, literally costs you nothing. Likewise, if you, yeah, I saw you on there. Also, if you're here on TikTok as well, just tap the screen. We're nearly at 40,000 likes, which is super bullish. So appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. And yeah, always good news when you guys are supporting. Look into it if you don't hold it. And Tim, what's that for? If Flare pumped up, then we would have any influence of the XRP price. I think a lot of it, you can stake XRP with Flare, right? I think you can stake XRP. So yeah, nice. You're a regular TikToker now, Vern. Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, Vern's killing it on TikTok. Just in El Salvador, bought 28 Bitcoin in the last 7 days. Noise. Get it, El Salvador. Right, where's BTC at? 115,859. Come on. Tim, you might have to go and buy a couple of milli BTC. Get this thing cruising, moving. Let's get it up there. Tubit, do you have any use? So here's my experience with crypto.com is I moved some coins over there and I was using their, is it called the Supercharger program or whatever it's called? Like, I was like, okay, I've got some Crow. I've got some Bitcoin and yeah, I'm down for having this kind of supercharged thing. And then their customer service, they literally messaged me and they're like, hey, can you tell us where this transaction came from? We want to verify your account. And so I was a bit like, it's a bit weird. Like I've literally just moved some crypto. So I sent a message saying, oh, this has come from my personal cold storage wallet. I want to put it on the platform, use this. And they sent me a message back saying, we won't accept this. You've got 24 hours to remove all your cryptocurrency from the platform, and then we're going to close your account down. So I was like, okay, no, okay. So I have genuinely, this is absolute God's honest truth. I removed every bit of crypto that I had on there, and I've never, ever gone back on the platform or even talked favorably about it. I'll never use the crypto.com, and I'll never use the app because the fact that they were just like, you need to get all your crypto off. Literally within 24 hours of going on there, they wanted to know where my transaction had come from. And then they were like, yep, no. So I don't, the only one I have a Coinbase debit card. And that's about it, really. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I've just got a Coinbase debit card. I haven't ever used it, to be honest, because you have to have USDC on it, and I just right now have no interest in putting USDC on it. Because why? I don't. Well, that's not true actually. I do have a little bit of USDC and a little bit of USDT because you just never know what might happen in this market. Maybe you need to be positioned and get ready. It's gonna go crazy in the next 24 hours. Who knows? Let's hope so. Yeah, it's a horrible site. Yeah, the customer service is awful. Can I ask, do you hold any stock ETF? No. I was thinking about maybe trying to get into an ETF, but my story goes a little bit like this. I literally took everything from savings accounts, ISAs, you name it, and I went all in on crypto. I have my pension, which is in a traditional bank account, and my missus runs all the bank accounts and everything, right? If she leaves me, I am knackered. Generally, I'm knackered. I will have to just deal with crypto all the time. But yeah, so I don't own any stocks. I definitely am interested in maybe going into some sort of Bitcoin ETF, but I don't know yet. But then I think, well, why would I go into an ETF? I might as well go into the actual asset, really. Thoughts on Pengu? Yeah, we were talking about this earlier on. I think it's got some momentum. I think it's got an opportunity, definitely. I mean, the chart's pretty interesting as well. I mean, if you argue this, a lot of people will know this chart. You know, the old cup and handle is generally a good news story. Before then, the breakout to the upside. So lots of IP stuff coming with Pengu. They've got a massive. It's a bit like Ape, isn't it? You know, Ape, when that metaverse came out, ran to $28. Think about that. So yeah, I mean, maybe. Look, I like it. I think you've got to pick one though. I don't think you can really be in all of them. So if you think, you know, Pengu, Bonk, Pepe, Whiff, what else would be Pump? I just don't. This is just my personal thoughts. I don't know why anyone would be like $100 in each one. Like, you just got to pick one and think that's the play I'm going to go in. But yeah, that's my truth. See, I have a Sapphire and Ruby. I've used them ones to buy beer at the pub. It was fun. Nice. Yeah, I can imagine it'd be pretty cool. I use it on Coinbase sparingly. They're expensive. Good for new users in the US, though. Yeah, because they convert it, don't they? So they convert it to your native currency. So you must pay 2 or 3 times to try and get that put through. I was thinking holding some QQQ for a long term. Then it's BTC back. Yeah, well, it's less. QQQ is less volatile, isn't it? I think you can predict the QQQ a little bit easier as well. I mean, look at what Tesla's doing. Look at what Amazon's doing. You know, those kind of Magnificent Seven are what the big driver of the Qs are. It. So I've never really traded the stock market though. I've always just bought. So I was a dividends if you like, a dividends holder. So I bought stocks that paid dividends out. That's what I did. But then I was like, right, screw this. Bottom of the bear market. When I was thinking, man, how do I get more capital into this market? I was like, yeah, just get out of the stock market and let's go all in. But yeah, keeping a little bit back in case, like, you know, all went to shit. No, I literally downloaded the Crow coin into my card and the card converted it to GPP. It cost me 10p or something. Oh, nice. Check out Doppler Finance 2-bit. Do a deep dive show on it. Backed by Binance and CEFFU. Nice. Yeah, okay. Doppler Finance. Let me take a look at that, definitely. What do you think about Ondo tokenizing on the XRPL? Carl, super bullish. I talked about this before, by the way. Ondo Finance, in my opinion, is going to be it's either going to be this project that absolutely goes crazy, or it's going to just end up being a bit of a flop. A little bit like Chainlink. And I know Chainlink's been doing well recently, and I think Chainlink's got a lot to give this cycle, but I think with Ondo and Chainlink, they're very similar in that I think people can miss them and they can miss the fundamental root cause of what they're trying to do, while at the same time, though, they get it dialed in. Holy shit. Like, if you get the ETF market and the treasuries market on Ondo Finance, then that's a $25 trillion market. It could be freaking crazy. Craig, you need to get out more if that's your one. I don't blame 2-bit for ignoring my comment. Oh, dear me. Get out of here, Obi Joe. Get out of here. Anyway. Good. Right. Where are we at on BTC right now? We're at 115,845. I weirdly do not think they want it to go over 116 for some reason. Doesn't feel like it wants. I mean, hopefully we get a little bit of a push. We're on the 30-minute chart, actually. So, yeah, we'll see. Don't be afraid to ask any questions like Mr. Holmes. You see, bullish on Mr. Holmes. What's your future predictions for XLM? Nice. Well, XLM, yeah, look, I mean, we talked about that. 160, 170, I think we've discussed. Maybe even a little bit higher. It'll move, obviously, with XRP. And I think, yeah, it's for the retailer, which could be good news. So, yeah. Anyway, get ready. Get ready. What's going on, Chris Moore? Good to see you, man. Welcome. How much do we dip at the rate cut announcements? I don't think we dip. Remember, rate cut announcements generally form a W pattern. They've happened all the time. And you see this kind of dump as the announcement comes in. And the decision, you then see a pump based upon when people kind of go, it's actually okay. And then we see the dump and then the pump again. So W patterns, I think the market will probably be, I mean, it'll be a little bit more optimistic. The key thing for the Fed rate cuts is going to be what Jerome Powell says. All right, that's it. We'll do the bingo card Tuesday night, but that's going to be the big thing. Not necessarily the actual announcement, because 25 basis points is pretty much priced in. It's going to be what Jerome Powell says. That's what you got to stay. And yeah, get ready. Possible few weeks of dip and consolidation. I mean, maybe. I don't think so, though. Again, I think it's going to depend whether there is some sort of, you know, see what Qatar does about Israel. That's going to be one that we need to keep an eye out on. You know, whether Trump does anything with tariffs in India, that's going to be another one. But I think if you just took the rate cuts and Powell, we're probably going to be okay. Right, everybody, that does bring us to the end of the show. As always, I've got a call with the investment group now. Well, it literally give me 2 minutes, everybody, and then you guys can jump in the Discord. I see you guys aren't in there yet, but jump in the Discord. I'll be there in 2 seconds. But until tomorrow night, as always, we will be back. If you want to keep up to date with all the latest crypto market stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel, or you'll follow me here on TikTok. And also, if you want to get our latest trade calls, the latest alpha group, and everything else, become a channel member, link in the description, or be a subscriber on TikTok, and that gives you automatic access to the premium accounts on Discord. It is obviously a free Discord as well, so you can get in there if you just want to hang out, chat, and do all that kind of stuff. But until tomorrow, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the flip side.